Good morning, Life Church. So my mom asked me last night, what are you going to talk about tomorrow? And I said, I don't know. And Arabella told me, just tell them that you love everyone. And so that's what I'm going to tell you. What we do in Mexico is we love everyone. That's what we do. And from the mouth of babes. Isn't that incredible? And so we have a home. We have a home for teenagers. And right now we have 3 youth that live with us, apart from our own children, that we have 5. So there are 10 of us in our home. It's loud sometimes and a little crazy and sometimes stressful. But our heart is to love these kids. And so we've been there for quite a few years now. Those of you that know us, it's 10 years that we've been down in Mexico now. And our heart is to love youth, love children, love families, and just love everyone that we encounter. And so we have this home where we're getting the process done to become registered home to take in more kids. But we're doing it more foster care style. So it's smaller groups of kids rather than an orphanage that has a lot of children and just staff. We want them in families. And so we have a property that this church helped us purchase last year. We've been there almost a year now. And it's a property with a home and another apartment. And so we're building up that property to be able to have multiple homes there with families with teenagers. So the reason we're working with teenagers is because there are no places there for teenagers. And there are a few homes, orphanages, but in the last 2 years, 2 of them have been closed down. And so there we went from having probably 100 beds available in our city to losing about 60 of those. And so it was a huge, huge change in our area. And so the ones that are left are great, and they're doing everything that they can, but there's a huge need. There was a situation just in the last few months of 2 babies that were left in the hospital abandoned, and they were left there for weeks because there was no one to take them. And there are teenagers that are just kind of ignored because if we get them to put into the system, then they have to find a place to put them, and there's no places. And so our main focus first is to focus on the teenagers. Beck, if you want to put the picture up. This is Manuel. He's one of our boys that we have known since he was 7 years old. We've helped raise him. And he was at one of the orphanages that got closed down. And so we had worked there for quite a few years, and then they closed it down, and he got sent back to his biological family that he'd never met before. And he had left there when he was 2 years old. So imagine that, being 2 years old, not growing up in an orphanage, and then when you are 14 being sent back to live with them without any connection at all. And so, as you can imagine, that didn't go very well. Him and his sister came to live with us, and they've been with us now for more than a year. And thank you, Arabella. She's very helpful. His name's Manuel. I have a picture here. Manuel's 15. He's in high school. He loves Takis, if you know the spicy chips, and all spicy junk food, and quesadillas. He loves American football and is a natural at it. When he isn't quiet and reserved, he's the class clown and brings a lot of joy. And so our heart is just to love. And I received a message a few weeks ago from one of our girls that used to live with us. And she messaged me and said, "You are what every girl in an orphanage dreams of having." And she said, "Who taught you how to be so patient and love?" And it broke my heart because, especially in the last couple of years, I have gone to the deepest, darkest place that I've experienced in my life, and just the weakest places that I've ever known. And it was in that time that I met this girl. And so the grace and the mercy of Jesus is so good to no matter where I'm at personally. It doesn't matter. Because God has used me, used our family, used the ministry to reach some of the hardest kids that are there. And no matter how I felt about it, no matter how stressed I was, she still experienced the love of Jesus. And so that's what we're doing in Mexico. We're loving people. Going to put another one on. One of the things we do a lot of community connection. And so this was during spring break. We had all the neighborhood kids to our place, and we had the bouncy house there with water, and the water's really muddy and gross, but the kids didn't care. And there was a motorcycle gang that came just to show the kids their bikes and just to spend some time with them. We had the fire department come, and there you can see the hose of the fire department. They were spraying all the kids with water. And then they took them on a ride just around the neighborhood and had the sirens going. And so that's just some of the stuff that we do. Our heart is to connect with the community, with the neighbors, and just show them that they're loved, give them opportunity to just have fun and experience things they've never experienced before. The fire truck comes up, and extra neighbors that we hadn't seen before just start running up, what's going on, and jumped on the truck to go on the ride. So anyway, that's just a little bit of part of what we do is the community connection, as well as our home for kids. And go ahead and throw that last one on there. We have an Impact Givers program. It's a child sponsorship program. So the name of our ministry is Huella de Impacto. It means print of impact. So it's like your fingerprint, your handprint. And that name came from what we're wanting to do, right? You go anywhere you go, and your finger makes a print, right? You can't help but leave your print wherever you go. And we want that print, that impact, to be of Jesus and to be that love that he has for us. And so we have our child sponsorship program. It's called Impact Givers. And so if you want to be a part of giving and leaving that impact in these kids' lives, it's $40 a month. And we're looking for 1 to 3 sponsors per child, just based on their needs. It goes to their education, some of their just daily functional needs, as well as extracurricular activities. Especially teenagers, they need to be active. They need to be doing sports, music, whatever, to keep them going and motivated. And so, if you want to be a part of that, I'd love to talk to you guys afterwards. These pictures, or if you want to sponsor a kid, you can grab. I have their pictures back there, so you can take their picture and sign up to do that. So, anyway, thank you very much. Love you guys. It's wonderful to see you.